Welcome to this coffee bar build video. I designed and built this coffee bar to house our larger countertop appliances. Like this, and all of the coffee things. Starting with the legs, I'm breaking down the poplar boards using my miter saw and ripping them at 45 degrees on my table saw. When gluing the legs together, I use as much painter's tape as necessary to get a good joint. It's important to be able to see the joint to ensure the mitered parts are aligned, and I find blue tape on the ends and the middle allows me to see the entire joint. You can also use clamps to force the joint to behave if the blue tape is not cutting it. I'll be painting these legs so I don't have to be too careful with excess glue. But if you're staining, make sure you get the glue off the outside of the legs, as any glue that dries will not take the stain. I cut the legs at least half an inch longer than I need. This allows squaring up the bottom after the glue is dried, but before gluing in the bottom inserts. It's important to get the bottom of the inserts aligned with the bottom of the legs. You definitely don't want to screw this up. Once the glue is dried, I can go ahead and rip the legs down to their final width. Now that the legs are done, I can move on to the case. I'm ripping my 3/4 inch plywood to 19 inches. I'm using my DIY parallel guides, so I only have to set the width once for the sides and the inside dividers of the case. To ensure the opposing sides and dividers are exactly the same, I'm stacking them and cutting them at the same time. For cutting panels, I rely on my DIY MFT tabletop. Combined with some bench dogs, a set of parallel guides, and a track saw, you can get reliable and repeatable rips and perfect 90-degree cuts. To attach the panels, I'm using 3 2-inch screws and 4 to 6 Miller 1X step dowels on each edge. I'm pre-drilling for the screws with a 7/64 inch drill bit and using the 1X Miller dowel step drill bit for the dowels. I'm relying on the bench dogs to ensure that the bottom is square. I've also clamped these 90-degree braces in to make sure the top is square. I'm using Titebond wood glue on every joint and for all my dowels. I'm using the case dividers to ensure the middle shelf is aligned properly. By clamping them flush against the side panels, they'll hold the middle shelf in place while I attach it with screws and dowels. Once the middle shelf is attached, I can move the dividers to their correct location in the case and attach them. I'm using a small flush cut saw to remove the top of the dowel and some wood putty to cover up the dowel and the screw holes. With the middle horizontal divider secured, I can add the vertical dividers. I'm using some spacers I cut from scrap to align the dividers while I secure them in place. This will also ensure that they're equally spaced from the sides. The last step before attaching the back is to add glue and dowels to secure the top of the case. The case top has a couple of subtle humps in it. Originally I thought attaching the case top to the divider would straighten them out. No such luck, so I'm using some clamping caws to force it straight while I attach the back. Once the back is glued and nailed in place, it'll hold the case top straight and I can remove the caws. Before attaching the back, I'm filling any voids and sanding the inside face of the panel. It'll be difficult to reach once it's attached. Well, that'll wrap up this first video in my coffee bar build series. If you're following along and building your own, getting the case and legs done is a great first step. Grab a cup of coffee and stay tuned for the next video where I add the legs and the face frame. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.